The Sefer van the Rabbi, Tekhelet. I looked through it, and indeed, it was very impressive. But I said to myself, that was nearly a century ago. This is 1978, and this was 1880-something, 1887, I believe. Let's see if something else hasn't been discovered in the meantime. So I sat down and I wrote a few letters to various institutions. I got back some responses. The letter from the Smithsonian Institute said, we think we have the answer. It was Murex. However, the letter wrote, the dye that you get will be purple, not blue. So I thought, well, very nice. He got something for argument. He didn't get anything for Tekhelet. But on the other hand, one of the things mentioned in the process was that when the dye comes out of the dye material comes out of the Murex, it comes out clear, and then it changes colors. And one of the colors it changes in the process of going from clear to dark purple is blue. So I said to myself, perhaps in the ancient times they had a method of restoring it back to the blue, and I left it at that. It was a few years later, my uncle, Dr. Abraham Twersky, told me that the Tekhelet, I think they rediscovered it. So I asked him, what is the method that they use? What is the seed creature that is supplying the material? And he told me, Murex. Then he told me, you know, something interesting. The chemical is the same chemical that indigo has. It's the same identical chemical, and that's what is there. So to me, that clinched this story. If it was that, yes, they found a way of getting it back to being blue. Yes, it is exactly the same color blue as Kloilon, and to me, that was the clearest evidence that that in fact it has been rediscovered. I remain with the question: how in the world are we going to make a chemical test to distinguish between Tekhelet, the real Tekhelet, and the fake Tekhelet, which is the Kloilon, if it's exactly the same chemical? I was certain that somehow an answer would be found for this. Anyway, I was certain that eventually an answer will be found. The fact is that there is a different dyeing method between the Kloilon, which is the indigo, and the method by which the Tekhelet was manufactured then and now. Today, the dyeing method of indigo has been transferred. It is much stronger. So the test won't work on today's indigo, but it did on the ancient indigo. So that was the one question that I had, and that said when I wrote my article, I don't remember if I wrote it in the article, but someone asked me, are you sure? So I said 99%. No, it's 100% today. I don't have any doubt whatsoever. People who discovered the Tekhelet have indeed found the right creature and the right method, and we can be mekayim the mitzvah of Tekhelet. Now, if I wanted to put it succinctly, I would say the following: that it is a snail is evident from the word chilazon itself. So I would say certain chilazon is a snail. We also know from the Gemara that the chilazon is off the northern coast of Eretz Yisrael. That's where you find it today. We also know, as mentioned before, that it produces a blue dye, which is identical in color, even in chemistry, to Kloilon, which is indigo. And we know it's indigo from many sources. There's no question, there should be no question that Kloilon is indigo. So we have certainty